Okay. Okay. We're live. Stay tuned, y'all. Enrollment week. We are launching our certification program starting in October, but this is the week that we're opening the doors to let in new students. We got 5 spots and it ends on Friday. So today is just going to be ultra value. Okay, yesterday I spent some time breaking stuff down. But today we are going to just get into some meat and potatoes here. All right. And today's theme is all about building the map. Greetings. Okay. So I gave a little teaser this morning. It says if there's somewhere you want to get to, if you've got a dream or you got a goal, or you have some kind of objective, some kind of result, or on the other side of that, because a lot of times we don't really take the time to get clear on what it is that we actually want. We're just really busy, running from problem to problem to problem. And so our dream essentially just becomes to get away from our nightmares. And even that too can in itself be a worthy dream. Although I would invite you, and this is part of this program, we do help you to get some clarity around, instead of focusing on what you don't want, because a good little rule of thumb here is what you focus on grows. So if you're continuing to focus on all the things that you don't want to see, all the quote unquote problems, which are actually just hidden gems, hidden opportunities for y'all, but you label them as problems. Paradoxically, all the things that you don't want, if you ever noticed, you just keep getting more and more of the same, because that is what you are continuously focusing on. I've studied a lot of Tony Robbins, and in his teachings, he talks about the ROS, or the RAS, I believe. I might fuck it up, but whatever. The reticular activating system, which is basically like this part of your brain where once you get locked onto something, then you just keep seeing more and more and more of that. So if an easy example is you just get a new car, and it's a certain kind of car, it's a certain color, and then before you know it, that's all you see. And that is that RAS, that reticular activating system at work. And it's the same thing. So that same power that we use, because it's a magical manifestation power that we don't even realize that we're using, because we get so caught up in the day-to-day stress, all this different situations, and we tend to victimize ourselves, and any number of things that I'm sure you've experienced. So you can use that same power to focus on the things that you do want. And the more that you choose, it is an intentional choice that you can choose literally every single moment. Because there's a little side note here, and there's something I was aware of in practice, but I was studying Ken Wilber, his book, Finding Radical Wholeness, one of his recent books, but he talks about how, I don't know, brain fart. So either way, when you focus on the thing that you choose to focus on, see if it's coming back to me, it's not, whatever. When you focus on the thing that you choose to focus on, then you get more of that. All right. And so when it comes to building your map, you have to get very clear on what it is that you're choosing to focus on. Okay. And the first step in that is recognizing what your potential actually is. Because even when we talk about setting goals, and when we talk about, dreaming or creating a vision or any number of those things, your vision, your capacity to dream, your capacity to imagine, your capacity to set goals for yourself are going to be limited potentially by what you believe your potential to be. And so the first step in creating a destination, because in order to have a map to chart out a path of where you want to go, you've got to have two basic things here. You need to know where you're going. And then you also need to know where you're at. And so the first part of this map building process is identifying both of those things. Because once this is part of the program. This is like the first step of the program, is identifying where you want to go and where you currently at. So where do you want to go? That's a lot of, one, as I was saying, getting clear on what your potential actually is, okay? And there's a whole exercise, you know what, fuck it, we'll just go through right now, we're here. And by the way, this is lesson 18, because a lot of this stuff that I'm teaching you right now, it's all in the free course, y'all. Like I give it all away for free. That's how much I love you. I give it all away for free. It's in the free course, literally step by step by step by step. And to be completely honest with you, full transparency here, what we are going to be going through in the certification program is the same exact shit that's in the free course. The only difference is the certification program, we're going to hold your hand. We're going to hold you accountable. We're going to make sure the shit that gets done. Because, some people, you need that. I get it. You need to, some accountability, somebody to make sure you're doing what you got to do. And then ideally, and really one of the big purposes behind the program is that once you get to the end of it, you will have such a clear sense of direction because you built the map, you know where you're going, and you charted the territory, you've charted your route in such a way that you know that you're going to get to where you want to go simply by doing the shit that you love to do in a way that feels effortless because it's all just structured in to allow the flow. So by the end of the program, you don't even necessarily need to be handheld anymore because that drive is going to be so powerful that you're going to have no choice. Like it literally, it is going to be, once you complete this program, it is going to be harder for you to go off the path, go away from the things that you say you want for yourself. Just like, if you're starting a new diet, put that in quotations there because that's a bunch of shit. If you're starting a new diet and at first you're like willing yourself to eat these different foods, and it feels at times, it feels much easier to just go and eat the stuff that you've been used to eating, even if you know it's not the best stuff for you. And over time, if you've ever kind of really gone down this path and have really gotten deep into improving yourself and cleaning up your diet, taking care of yourself, all that stuff, eventually it gets to a point where it's actually harder to eat the bullshit. Because you know how it's going to make you feel. And it's like, this is something I personally experienced, even at an energetic level, it's just this I literally, if you put like a big, I don't know where you live, but where I live, they have a Bruno's Pizza, which is like a local thing. If you put like a big ass Bruno's Pizza in front of me, like I used to, it'd be like, no question, like, bro, I'm going to eat the whole damn thing. That's what, just a little background on me. Some people don't understand. Like I've been doing this shit for a long ass time, but I came from a place of literally eating whole boxes of Kraft mac and cheese by myself with, bologna sandwiches with Kraft singles on some white bread. And I'd put some pizza rolls in there with a side of Doritos chips with a big glass of cherry Dr. Pepper. Bro, like I started in all the same places. It's just this baby step, a cumulative effect over a long period of time. But either way, you get to a point where it's like, I would literally have to force myself to do that versus just going naturally to what feels good to me, which are foods that I know are going to support me in my dream, in my ability to create the life that I want to create, in my ability to pursue my dreams, okay? Because it's all related here. But all I'm saying is that by the end of this program, most likely, obviously I can't make any guarantees here because you still got to do the damn work. Most likely you're going to be at that point where it's going to be very easy to just continue to flow along the path, okay? So what you've got to do, like I said, first and foremost, before we even talk about your vision, your dream, is you've got to recognize that the potential, what is your potential? So we're going to go through a little exercise right now. And again, this is something I'm totally ripping off of Tony Robbins here. But it's just, it's pretty basic knowledge, so whatever. But you'll get the point. Okay? And again, I may not do this exactly how he does it, but whatever, I do it how I want to, because that's what I want to do. So, top left here, we'll put belief. And then over here, we're going to put action. And then this box is result. And this box is potential. And now really, you can start, I think you guys can all see this. Really, you can start wherever you want to start in this little box here. But either way, there's going to be a cycle that happens that I'll walk you through here in a sec. Okay? So really, what you believe about yourself, about your situation, about who you are, about what you can and cannot do, all the little stories and ideas that create our own little self-concept. So what you believe about yourself, that is going to turn into the action that you take. For instance, if you don't believe that you can be a very strong, good weightlifter, more than likely, you're not going to take that much action to actually practice and hone in on that skill, hone in on that craft. Okay? And then based on the action that you take, you're going to get a certain result. If you're not taking that much action because you don't believe in yourself, the results are going to be a mirror of that. Okay? And then what that does is that then reinforces what you ultimately believe your potential to be. So if you don't believe you're any good at weightlifting and therefore you don't practice weightlifting and therefore you don't get any better at weightlifting, it's a self-reinforcing loop because then you're like, oh, look, I'm right. I'm not very good at weightlifting. I suck at weightlifting. So what's the point? Okay? Then that reinforces the belief and then the circle keeps going around and around. Okay? But once you recognize that, and like I said, you can essentially, I don't know how much about the result, but the easiest place to start is really either the potential or the belief. And sometimes you can even start at action. But the principle is essentially once you recognize that the potential is ultimately limitless, because, this can get into a deep kind of more esoteric spiritual discussion, but it's all literally, it's infinite potential. Okay. And most people, if you just kind of feel into that, then it's a truth. Okay. Because literally if you can think about something, the sole fact that you can think about it, that you can imagine it, it exists as a potential. Just like, some common examples are back, 150 years ago. And if you were talking about, we're going to create these big machines and then we're going to be able to fly through the air and, we're just going to be able to hop in them and then we're just going to go and we're going to fly like a bird and then we'll go to wherever we want to go. People look at you like, bro, you're fucking crazy. You're a lunatic. Okay? But now what? We have airplanes. We have jets. We can fucking travel into space. And it's like, duh. Okay? Same thing in a physical sense when a common story is the 4-minute mile, where for so long it was thought to be physically impossible to run a 4-minute mile. And then one person did it. One person believed that it could be done. And then he took the proportionate action and he got a proportionate result, which then reinforced the potential that it was possible. And then once one person did it, everybody started doing it. Now it's like, it's nothing for, high school kids or whatever running 4-minute miles. Okay? So just the fact that you can think about something means that it exists as a potential. So once you recognize the potential is limitless, the potential is limitless, the potential is limitless, then you can align your beliefs to that. And that comes through the act of really growing your awareness, because you have to recognize your beliefs in order to recognize that you can then change those beliefs. If you're not aware that you're continuing to believe things about yourself and tell stories about yourself or about your circumstances or whatever the case may be, if you're not aware of what that's happening, and then you're just, it's just the subconscious beliefs, and then the actions are stemming from that, and then you keep getting the result, then, again, the cycle continues. So part of this that I would add in here is like you have to be aware. You've got to grow your awareness. And this is where, we talk about meditation and things like that, but having some kind of practice that just allows you to begin to grow the capacity to witness what is happening, essentially continuing to increase your capacity to see what is normally subjective, objectively. Because most of it, we're thinking all day long, but we identify with the thoughts. We think, even with the statements that we say, where it's like, I am sad, I am hungry. Like we identify with these sensations in our thoughts. But even just recognizing, it's not to say you gotta, start saying a bunch of weird shit like I like to do, but ultimately just recognizing that, okay, I witness thoughts, but there's a witnesser of the thoughts, so I'm actually not the thoughts, okay? So that capacity is what allows you to see a lot of these beliefs that are going on, which then allows you to then choose to change your beliefs, okay? And all of that has to do with your capacity, with your ability, with your giving yourself permission to envision the life that you want to live. And this is a place where I'm going to give a little bit of a caveat, because the life that you initially envision when you begin your journey, more often than not, is not going to be the same vision as you continue along your journey. That vision is going to change. And the reason I say that is just from my own experience. But really fundamentally, the more you grow and develop and through the journey, because wait for it, the journey is the way, okay? The more you develop through the journey, the more alignment you will begin to have with your purpose, with your genius, with the ways in which you are called to serve. And I actually just wrote this today, I don't know if I'll remember it or not, but it's like your intention, the intention comes from witnessing, I'm going to completely butcher this, but whatever. The intention of your vision becomes more and more as a result of witnessing what is coming through you. And this may not make much sense right now, but I'll just plant the seed, okay? So ultimately, as you continue to develop along your journey, you use your intention not to create like, oh, I want a big house and I want these cars and I want this much in my bank account and I want to weigh this much and I want to lift this much weight and I want to have this job and I want to be, with this kind of person in a relationship. Like all those things are great and they're cool. And when you first start out the journey, that may very well be what that vision entails. And that's a perfectly valid starting place. All I'm saying is that as you continue to develop, you will more than likely get to a place of recognizing that you're not necessarily trying to will a certain destiny for yourself. You are witnessing the intention that is coming through, and then you are aligning your will to that intention, okay? And that would call, like for me, really my primary intention, at least at this place where I'm at right now in my life, is ultimately surrendering to what is coming through me and just witnessing what is coming through me. And then using my will to align to that intention that I'm witnessing coming through me, okay? But either way, the principle is you have to give yourself permission and recognize the potential to be able to create the life exactly that you want. Literally, exactly the way that you want. Every little detail. And a little tool that can be helpful for this is because, again, what we tend to do is we take our current circumstances, our current beliefs, our current state of being and we project that out into the future when we think about our goals and our dreams and you know, things like that. And then ultimately our goal just tends to be a further along place of our current state, if that makes sense, because we end up projecting all of our limitations. We project our current life situation, or we project our current schedule. We project our current responsibilities. We project that all, and then we just wrap up a certain kind of goal around that. So another way to look at that can be helpful is to just put yourself into the future. Let's say like 10 years. Put yourself into the future like 10 years and then look back. Because ultimately what you want to try to do here is you want to let go of all of your current circumstances and go into the future. Like a helpful exercise that I will give an invitation for here is make a journal entry. And I've done this, and this is likely one of the practices. There's so many different tools, y'all. As you'll see, we use all kinds of tools. There's different tools that fit certain jobs at certain times. But one of the tools that you can use is do a journal entry. So today is September 3rd, I believe. It's 2024. So you'd write a journal entry for September 3rd, 2034. And you're essentially journaling, you just had your perfect day. The perfect day. Literally from the time you got up, like what time did you wake up? What was the first thing that happened? What'd your morning look like? And literally allow it to be whatever you want it to be. And again, I would invite you, set a timer for a half hour and just go. Just let it flow. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about perfect. Because again, most likely this is going to change. But what you will also find is that even if you don't look at that journal entry until the 10 years is up and you kind of, stumble across it one day, most likely you will find just by going through that simple exercise and literally if nothing changed, just taking the time to be intentional about what you are manifesting, what you are projecting into the future, that in itself can be extremely powerful. And you might realize like, oh shit, like I'm actually living a lot of this right now. So try it out. It's the only way you know. Try it out. So that's why I said, like, in the free course, in this, teaching right now, it's all just invitational stuff. Obviously, do what the fuck you want, bro. In the program, it's like, okay, no, this is what we're doing. If you want to make it to the end of this program, this is what we're doing. Okay? And that's the accountability aspect of it. All right? So whatever that vision is, that is your destination. And the thing is, because I've already said it, and I'm going to say it again, wait for it. Wait for it. The journey is the way. The journey is the way. So the destination is really not that important. But what it allows us to do, like I said, is now we can start to create a map. So we have a destination, and then we have to figure out, relative to that destination, where are we currently at? Okay? And this is where, different assessments come in. We have different assessments that I use from my professional training with the Czech Institute for, holistic lifestyle coaching. So kind of just nutritional, physical, mental, emotional assessments that we do. And then like I was talking about in yesterday's training, or yesterday's overview rather, of the game that we are actually training for, the game that we are playing, whether we like it or not, we're going to test each one of those life attributes. And I'm just going to name them off here for anybody that's new here. So we've got, and even just for my own sake here, power, grace, service, novelty, coordination, communication, attraction, endurance, flexibility. 9 attributes. And there's a primary test for each one of those. But either way, we're going to test all of those things so we know exactly where we're at. And even from a simple standpoint, I want to be clear about something here, because through optimal evolution, this is what this training is through, we are really, really good at, specifically like me, I'm really good at this. I can fucking hang my hat on it, very confident. I'm really good at teaching people how to do Olympic lifting and just the basic concepts of Olympic lifting and really just moving the body in general, okay? It's something that I have just been doing damn near my whole life. I'm really good at it, okay? And it just so happens, and I want to add another little note in here too. The reason why there is so much emphasis on the Olympic lifting is not just because I think the Olympic lifts are cool, because they are, and they're really fun to do, which I do think they are. It's not just because of that. It is because the Olympic lifts are really the most complex thing that you can do with the barbell that is scalable, that is practical, that is standardized, and that is teachable, okay? And it is also the most powerful and athletic thing that you can do with the barbell. And the reason why I think it's so important is because in order to do the Olympic lifts, meaning the snatch and the clean and jerk, the classic Olympic lifts, in order to do those at a very high level, and even at a basic level, guess what? You've got to be able to squat. You've got to be able to do basic push pattern. You've got to be able to do basic pull pattern. You've got to be able to lunge to a certain extent. You've got to be able to twist to a certain extent. Even if that twisting is just to be able to keep your body healthy enough to continue to practice the Olympic lifts. Okay? You've got to be able to hinge, obviously. And to a certain extent, you just have to have the basic athleticism to be able to just move in space, okay? Because they're very dynamic, explosive. You're changing directions very quickly. So that they're one of the most complex things. And at the same time, learning to do the Olympic lifts has the most wide-reaching effect on everything else that you could want to do with your body, all right? And so that's why we focus on those, okay? Like I said, yes. What's up, Ann? Yes, I do think they're cool, but as part of playing this game, they are the primary test of power for that reason. Because again, by extension, if you can do the Olympic lifts at a very high level, you are going to be able to do a lot of shit with your body at a very high level. Okay? So I wanted to add that note in there. But either way, we have your destination. We know where you're going. And then we assess. We don't like to guess. We assess to see where you're currently at. And then once we've got those two things, oh boy. Once we've got those two things, got your destination, we've got your starting place, now we can really play. Now we can create a structure, a systematic structure that is aligned to the cycles and rhythms of nature, in your nature, to get to that destination, realizing the whole way that it's not really about reaching the destination at all, after all. It is about who you become along the journey. Okay? So I'll leave it at that for today. Tomorrow, unless, I kind of just do this shit as I feel called here. I don't really have I don't have a set written out plan. I'm just off the dome right now, bro. So tomorrow, more than likely, we'll get more into the specifics of, now you have your map. Now you've got the basics of your map. And now we can really start to chart the territory. And if you stay tuned, bro, because tomorrow we are going to really, you'll see how this system all comes together. And obviously, I'm super biased because I think this is the greatest shit ever, because I think I'm fucking cool and whatever. You can say what you want. I don't give a fuck. But I know how good this shit is. And not only that, again, it's the reason, I'm literally here right now it's not about me. As much as, I'm an artist fundamentally. I'll give you whatever. I'm going to fucking stand on my little soapbox here. I'm an artist. Okay? And so most of what I do, really all of what I do, to me, is art. All right? And my capacity for art comes from a sense of service. Because I've been through, I've had my own share of different challenges and all this, I told you, I've been there. We all have different experiences. I've had my own share of a lot of different shit that I've had to, you know, learn to see as opportunities to be able to grow. And you get to a certain point, and I'm sure anybody tuning in right now, you may have had that experience, like you have something painful or multiple painful things happen in your life or kind of challenging circumstances, and then you grow through them, you learn, and you get better, you become better, and then it becomes this natural outpouring to want to help other people along the way. And so, like, literally, like, beyond the fact that I just really love to teach and to share, this is an act of service for me. And also recognizing, again, coming from this perspective as an artist, that I can use my ego. Ego's not a bad thing, bro. You can use the ego. It's just learning not to be attached to the ego. That's why, you know, one of my favorite things as an artist is it opens up this freedom. Even just allowing yourself to have that label. It's like, you know, when you allow yourself to call yourself an athlete and just give yourself that label, automatically your perspective, going back to this shit, your total perspective and your approach changes. And the actions that you take change. So it's taken me a long time, actually, to really step into the mask that I choose to wear as an artist. And within that mask, I get to wear many different masks. If I want to, you know, grow my hair out and kind of become this, you know, humble servant of God and, you know, be very soft-spoken and be very humble, okay? I can be that. If I want to be fucking arrogant and not give a fuck and do what the fuck I want and say what the fuck I want, I can do that. I can use the ego and I can just have fun. Because really, I'm just having fun, bro. Okay? And I want to show you how to have fun too. I'm sure you know how to have fun. But I want to show you how to have fun in a way that you are, by having fun, literally by having fun, you are realizing the highest expression of your potential possible. Okay? And that's why it's a game, yo. All right. Step off the soapbox. So, if you want to learn more, because obviously, I'm trying to get you in this fucking program, bro. I want to teach. I'm here. I'm just giving it all away. But I know the value of this, and I want to get you in the fucking program. So, if you want to learn more, if you want to, you know, if this is like aligning to you, I'd imagine if you're even watching this far, if you're making it this far, there's some little semblance of resonance in there. So if this is calling to you in any capacity, take the call, bro. Take the call. Take the call. Go to the link in the bio. All right? Or if you're already in the Life Collective space, go to Seekers of the Way space. You'll find what you need there. Go to the link in the bio. You'll find what you need there. Okay? Like I said, class is starting October 14th. And maybe tomorrow or later, I don't fucking know. But I'll get more into like the specifics of what things look like. But like I said, if you just go into the link in the bio, go into the Life Collective community, you'll find what you need there. It's all mapped out. It's all explained. And then you can set up a call, yada, 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 do the damn thing. Okay. That'll do. That'll do. Thanks for tuning in. And let's keep this party rolling. Guess what? I'm here all week, motherfuckers. I'm here all week. I'll see you soon. Peace.